My neighbor's faith represents a valuable contribution to the mission of Christian scholarship. Kwame Bediako, Ekropong Akuapem, Ghana, Pentecost, 2007. 1. Introduction. Africa has an interreligious and interfaith environment that is unique in many ways. We have multi-faith families, clans, ethnic groups, and nations. At each of these levels, African Muslims and Christians have a lot of things that bind them together, including kinship ties, shared languages, and citizenship. If I may use my own case as an example, I come from a family where believers in traditional African religion, Muslims and Christians, live and share basically everything. My Muslim uncle made significant contributions towards my theological training, and about 95% of the family members who attended my ordination service were Muslim. Similarly, when there is anything involving a family member, all members of the family, irrespective of their religious affiliation, are called upon to contribute. At the national level, Ghana has a Catholic president and a Muslim vice president who were sworn into office by a lay Methodist Chief Justice. Similar examples of pluralist realities are fairly common across sub-Saharan Africa. The other side of the coin is that most of the inhuman acts perpetrated by human beings have, directly or indirectly, something to do with religion. As one theologian writing on religion and violence observes, many of the violent conflicts in the world today involve religious animosities. Indeed, the history of the encounters among the world's religions is filled with distrust and hatred, violence and vengeance. The deepest tragedy of the history of religions is that the very movements that should bring human beings closer to each other and to their ultimate source and goal have time and time again become forces of division. In one conflict after another around the world, religious convictions and interpretations of revelation have been used and abused as justifications for violence. Again, speaking from my own context, in 1995, Ghana had her fair share of interreligious confrontations, mainly between Christians and Muslims in Takoradi, Kumasi, and Tamale. The conflicts involving Christians and Muslims in places like Sudan, Nigeria, and Ivory Coast are well known. These conflicts have their roots in the collective historical experience of Africans as well as in present social, political, and religious challenges. Some would argue, however, that ignorance accounts for much of the fear, suspicion, and hatred that lead to violence and open conflicts between people of different religions. On both the Christian and Muslim sides in Africa, there's a lot of ignorance, prejudice, and stereotyping. But how do we maintain peace between the Christian and Muslim communities? In the words of Mother Teresa, peace is not something you wish for. It's something you make, something you do, something you are, something you give away. Also talking about religion and peace, the prominent Swiss theologian Hans Küng made the following solemn observation. No world peace without peace among religions, no peace among religions without dialogue between the religions, and no dialogue between the religions without accurate knowledge of one another. There is therefore an urgent need for accurate knowledge of the teaching and beliefs of religions other than our own. The British Prime Minister Tony Blair is right when he says, "Knowledge dispels fear, knowledge clears away misunderstanding, knowledge strengthens trust." Over the last half-century, there have been many discussions and activities aimed at promoting better understanding between people of different religious traditions and civilizations. One of the positive results of these endeavors is the proliferation of study centers and literature in the West aimed at presenting Islam in a more sympathetic and positive light. This is a welcome departure from the medieval demonization of Islam and 19th century Western polemics against it. In the wake of 11 September 2001, the need to carry on with this task has become even more urgent. Many Western journalists, politicians, clergy, and academics have taken up this task and are genuinely trying to help redress the situation. This is certainly a valid and welcome undertaking in our increasingly pluralistic and interdependent world. The problem, however, is that the drive to address past misconceptions has brought about another unhealthy tendency, referred to by Bernard Lewis as voluntary censorship.